Hello everybody and welcome to the channel debut. Today we're going to be unboxing a watch by Ulysse Girard. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, but that is not to be confused with Ulysse Nardin, I believe is how you say it. So Ulysse Nardin is a heritage Swiss watchmaker. Ulysse Girard also claims to be a Swiss heritage watchmaker, but their website isn't very clear on their history, so I just want to go into that a little bit before we get started with the unboxing. So, according to their website, the company was originally founded in 1862, and for some reason, it's not super clear on what happened, but apparently they closed their doors around 1900. Now, recently in 2014, the company was restarted, claiming to be following the same heritage that they had back in the 1800s. But there's not really any other information besides that, and I wasn't able to find any information on the original company from the 1800s on Google anywhere, or really anything about the company except for their own website, which is a little weird. And there's also a couple other weird things going on their website. So one of the first things I noticed is their About Us page is all in what I'm pretty sure is Latin, according to Google Translate, and Google Translate is unable to translate any of it into anything that is meaningful, and a lot of it's repetitive. So that was strange. Also, on that same About Us page, if you scroll down to the bottom, they have 3 listed employees, the founder, as well as 2, I believe they're listed as graphic designers. And their photos are actually photos from a stock image site. I reverse image searched them, and I was able to find the models for those images. So that's a little weird. I don't know why you would have stock images of random models on your website as your founder and CEO. Definitely strange there. As well as they have 3 listed office locations. One in Switzerland, one in New York, and one in Texas. Now, I did Google search all of these on Google Maps, and I was unable to confirm whether or not they had an office in that building or not. And when I tried to call the phone number listed on their website, I got nothing. I did, however, shoot them an email to their listed email, just asking for the history of their company a little more in depth than what they have listed on the website, just so I can actually get some kind of nice history to upload in a later video, hopefully, so it doesn't seem like I'm just putting them down. I'm actually really curious what the real history is if they claim to be a company that started in the 1800s, and I want to know what kind of happened in that 100-year gap and how they were able to restart as the same company and maintain that heritage. So that's the kind of weird stuff. But other than that, I will say that the watches do appear to be good. 3 out of 4 of their models that they have listed on their website are also listed on various department store websites. So it doesn't seem like it's, one of those Shopify scams that you see where people just drop ship stuff. And the watches definitely do appear to be a good quality, which we'll get to here in just a second. All right, so the model we're going to be looking at today is called the Marlin. So this right here is the watch. All right, it's a pretty nice box. I actually do like how they have it set up here. Definitely a good setup. The Marlin retails on their website for $399 to $419, depending on the exact coloration style you get. So we'll just take it out here while we go over some of the features. All right. So it does feel decently hefty. I mean, which would be expected. It's supposed to be made out of all stainless steel. Looks like, what do we got here? I don't know if you guys can read that. There we go. So right there on the dial, it says that it is water resistant to 100 meters / 330 feet. So that's nice to see. Obviously, analog dial. It's got the tachometer. That's how you say that. The movement they have listed. Let's see if it says it on the back. So on the back here, it just says Japan movement, but on their website, they actually have the specific movement listed. It's supposed to be a Quartz Miyota 2315. So, and that you can probably tell from the video, but if not, all of the indices on the dial are supposed to light up, glow in the dark. And I do have to say, I do like the dial design up here, how they have the 2 lines on the 12. It just looks very clean and plain and simple. You're not overloaded with a lot of dials and a lot of information. It's a very classic look. I'm actually going to peel this off and see if we can get a cleaner image with less glare. There we go. There we go. So you can get a nice good look at the dial. So obviously here we have the embossed bezel. Now it's supposed to be unidirectional, but it doesn't really feel like it wants to turn. Not sure what's going on there. So usually with the dive watch you should be able to turn that if that were true. So we'll play around with that. Okay, take that out. There we go. Alright, that's working. So that's another little strange feature. And then we also have that, I do have to say, I'm not a fan of these style clasps. These steel push button clasps. They feel really flimsy to me. This one might feel a little bit firmer than usual, but generally not a fan. Some of you guys probably like them, but that's just how I feel about it. Alright. So, other than that, so this whole, the bezel thing, it's really weird. So as you can see, they do have, I don't know if you can tell very well on the camera, but right here, there is a, what would you say, a magnification lens there to help you see the data a little clearer. I will say it does definitely make it a lot clearer head on, enlarges it quite a bit. Obviously the date's incorrect right now, but they do also have the luminous paint on the hands, but not on the second hand. Their logo is right there underneath the minute hand, which I'll actually move out of the way so you guys can see that clearly. So as you can see right there, that's their logo. That's how you spell it. Their website is just that name .com, I believe, if you want to go check it out. I don't think we have too much more to say about this. Yeah, I mean, the watch itself feels pretty nice and solid, but this steel band, I'm not a fan. It feels kind of flimsy. And once we figure out what's going on with that bezel, I might have to update this, but actually, it doesn't even look like it turns. If you guys look at the edge right here. There we go. It doesn't appear to have any way to turn. And, you can look at the seal along the glass right there. So, if you're familiar with dive watches at all, or even some sport watches, this should be able to be turned to actually be used as the tachometer. So if you're unable to turn it, you're not really able to use it. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Personally, not a huge fan of this watch. It might be to some of your guys' tastes, but with the company history and the build as I'm sitting here playing with it right now, I can't really recommend it all too much. hopefully I'll get to hear back from the company and get to elaborate a little bit more on the history. But until then, that's pretty much the end of the watch. See if there's any other goodies in the box here. We got, what is this? Some kind of, here we go. Now that's interesting. That is not the brand that it claims to be. So I'm gonna have to do some more digging into that. And maybe we'll have an update video on this one. Other than that, nothing else in the box. One last look at the watch. So it seems relatively cheap. I personally wouldn't pay more than maybe like $65 to $80 for this. But that's just my opinion. All right. Well, if you enjoyed the content, please drop a like and subscribe. It would help me out a ton. And I will hopefully see you next week.